Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of 60 Formula. Hope you're doing well today. A lot of my viewers have been asking me lately, hey man, how often can I leave my Siberian Husky in one of those things you see in the background right there, a crate? It's a really good question, and a lot of people ask themselves this all the time. They get a Siberian Husky, they're like, I really want to crate my Husky, make sure that they're safe and not getting into all sorts of trubs. I gotta work this long, I gotta work that long. I just want to know how long that I can leave them in that pretty little cage. Whew. Now, when you bring your puppy home, you should already have a crate and introduce your pup to the crate. Now, I will say this, crates are not for every single dog in the world. They don't work perfectly for everyone, so it is possible that your Husky just doesn't work well with a crate. But with that said, 99% of the time they do, and it's important that while you are building communication with your Siberian Husky, excuse you, lady, that you watch over and supervise them at all times. Now, this is difficult. Sometimes you can't do this. Guess what? Guess why? You got to close your eyes and take a little bit of sleep. You got to get that shut-eye, my friend. So when that happens, it's really important that you keep your Husky in a crate. So come with me, will you, on another episode of 60 Formula, where we find out how long you are able to leave your Siberian Husky in one of these crates. Are you ready? I'm ready. Come on. Let's go. Oh, you don't like the nose boob? I guess I'll do you instead. All right, so you're wondering how long you should leave your Siberian Husky in their cage. You gotta go to work, you got things to do. You gotta leave your Husky in a cage for a little bit. They gotta be comfortable with it, just like Gila right here. She's like, dude, cages are no big deal. I do them every single day. Now, the first thing you're gonna wanna do when you bring your puppy home is introduce them to the crate. Just let them sniff it, smell it, keep the cage door open, let them go inside, put some delectable stuff in there, throw some treats inside, put like a blanket, let them get to know what the area is. Don't just throw them in a crate and expect them to be perfect. That's not going to help you out in the slightest. Remember, crate training is a crazy process. It takes a lot of time and patience. Your dog isn't going to be comfortable just being caged up for a couple of weeks. You gotta work at it. You gotta train them to let them know, hey, this is where you're going to be hanging out when I can't watch you, and your dog is going to throw more than a couple of fits. Don't worry, 60 Formula is here to tell you that that is all going to go away eventually. If you're dealing with crazy stuff, your dog's going nuts and screaming every single time you put them in a cage, just keep at it. Just do yourself a favor. I say this in almost every video. Do not take your puppo out of that crate if they decide to scream, because that will teach your Siberian Husky that screaming will get them whatever they want, and that ain't no good, baby. All right, so let's say you gotta go to work. Let's say that you have to leave your Husky in their crate for a long period of time. My biggest piece of advice to you, no matter what, even if you have to leave him in there for a very long time, is to exercise your Husky before you crate them. So if you're gonna leave early in the morning, let's say you gotta go to work and you're gonna be crating your dog for a while, do yourself a favor and exercise the butt out of that Husky. Take them outside for at least a half hour to an hour. The idea of this is that when you take your Husky and you put them in the crate for the day, when you go to work, you really want them to just be sitting there tuckered out taking a nap. Now, don't let dogs fool you. They can sleep for long periods of time, just as long as cats. So if you make sure that your Husky is really super exercised, it's likely that they won't be sitting there in that crate going, when am I gonna get out of this thing, daddy? No, they're probably gonna be taking a nap, dreaming of butterflies, and the next time they get to eat that delectable goodness. So do yourself a favor, take that tip for free. Exercise your Husky every time you decide to crate them up. It's really going to make them feel a lot better. It's going to make the whole entire process easy on you and your Siberian Husky. So with that said, how long can a Siberian Husky stay in their crate? Well, it depends on the age of that Siberian Husky, okay? The general rule of thumb is that a Siberian Husky can stay in a crate for 1 hour for every month old that they are. So if your Husky is 3 months old, they can stay in that crate for 3 hours. If they are 4 months old, they can stay in that crate for 4 hours. Here's another general rule of thumb you really want to stick by. You should not be crating your dog for more than 4 hours at a time. time. Now, when you are done with those 4 hours, you need to come home and exercise your pup. Let them go to the bathroom. Now, a lot of you, I know you're gonna be saying, hey, I have to crate my dog for 8 hours a day, up to that amount of time. My advice to you is to please get someone to come by and let your puppo out to use the bathroom, or if you can, come by at lunch and exercise your pup for up to a half an hour before you crate them again. As long as you have an hour break in the middle of that 8-hour shift, I think you're going to be okay. But just remember, when they are little puppies, they have smaller bladders, and this is why we can only crate them for so long. Look at Hila, she's like, I love the crate. So when a Husky gets older, can you leave it in a crate for really long periods of time? Let's say we're not talking Husky puppos, we're talking full-blown Husky, you know what I'm saying? Well, then you will be able to do a lot more. When it comes to crate training, you're going to have to be responsible. You can't be leaving your dog in a tiny closed space for very, very long. If you have to work for long periods of time, you are just going to have to find someone to come to your house and let your dog out for a little walk. Now, there are plenty of doggy daycares. There are plenty of people who market themselves as taking your dog out for a walk when you can't, and I highly encourage this. They're pretty inexpensive. So just remember, as I said, 1 hour per 1 month old your Husky is how long you are able to leave them in their crate. Now, this video does not go over crate training practices. We have other videos for that. If you go in the Husky Training 101, we do talk about crate training and how you should introduce your dog to it. Today, we're just talking about how long you should be or shouldn't be leaving your Husko in a crate. But while we're on the topic, let's talk about what crate you should be getting in case you want to get a crate for your Siberian Husky. Let's say you want to start that training process. What kind of crate should you be checking out? What we use is a Kong crate. Now, this crate is about 41 inches. It is a large crate for large dogs. Now, you're probably asking yourself, should I start out with a large crate with a small Husky puppy? The answer to that is yes, you do. If you have a small Husky, each of these cages comes with a divider that basically cuts this entire cage into 2 separate cages, which is mega awesome. So while you are training your Husky puppy, you can be using half the room of this cage that you need, and that is perfect because when you do have a Husky puppy, you don't want them to be in a huge cage because it will encourage them to use the bathroom in one of the corners of the cage. But if you cut it off and you make it small enough to where it's just a location where your dog can get up, turn around, and stretch out, then that dog will likely not use the restroom in the crate. So as long as you get a crate, and these Kong crates do come with a divider, this is the only crate you're ever gonna need. Now, this crate is really awesome. Hila's like, I love this crate. It's really cool. It comes with 2 doors. There's a door over here on the side. So if you want your dogs to enter from this side, you can. And there's also a door right here on this side. And this is the side we basically use all the time. Now, you can see right here, you lift this up and it just slides down into place like that. There's a cool little lock mechanism right here that basically locks the cage so your dog can't lift it up magically or what have you. This is one of the safest cages and I highly recommend getting it. Now, I will try and link it in the description below how you can go ahead and get your hands on this crate if you are interested, because like I said, it is good for puppies and big doggos alike, and I really do encourage you guys starting your training process on one of these Kong crates. Now, as you see below, this floor panel right here, it actually comes out of the crate, slides out from the side. So if your Husko does have an accident in the crate, they pee in the corner or they poop in the corner, it is really easy to clean up. These cages, you just take them out back or out to the side, spray them down with the hose, and they are instantly cleaned up. Now, you see exactly how I've left the crate here open this entire time that we've been doing this video and hanging out. This is what you need to do with your dog. See how they're just exploring it? You need to let this kind of behavior happen with your Huskies when you're getting them used to crate training, because this sort of behavior lets them know that this is part of the room, it's super safe, and they're gonna be okay-dokay. So now let's cover the last question, which is, hey, can I leave my dog in a crate for more than 8 hours? Can I leave them in there for 10 hours? What will happen if I do that? I would not recommend leaving your dog dog in a crate, like I said, for more than 4 hours at a time. If you have to leave them in there for 6 hours, you are probably okay. If you want to leave them in there for 8 hours, I recommend getting someone to come and walk your dogs while you are out. And if you are pushing it, let's say you are gone 10 hours a day and you want them to stay in that crate all day, well, I'd say don't do it. If you are going to be gone that long, if you're going to be gone for hours and hours and hours a day, do your doggo a favor. Give them an entire room of their own. Give them the laundry room, put them in a room that's bigger and secluded, and try and work from there. 10 hours a day is way too much. I get a lot of people coming to the channel saying, hey, I'm gone for 10 hours a day. Will my husky be fine in a crate for 10 hours? No. That's the answer is no. Don't put your dog in a crate for 10 hours or 8 hours without giving them a break. You are running the risk of them possibly damaging their little tiny baby bladders and kidneys because they're going to be holding their pee and their poo for so long. Imagine having to sit in a cage for that long yourself and not being able to do number 1 or number 2. It would make you go crazy. So those are a few tips on how long you can keep a husky in a cage. Please follow these guidelines. Don't let your husky be sitting in a cage for too long, and if you have to, make sure you hit someone up so they can come and walk your dog while you are away. There's no shame in having to work, make your dough, and having a dog. Just make sure you take responsibility for it. That's gonna be it from us tonight, guys. We hope you had a lot of fun. We appreciate everyone coming and hanging out with us lately. Everyone that was in the live chat tonight, we love you so much. We appreciate all the support. If you guys are having fun, if you're learning so much on the channel, we'd really appreciate it if you smash that subscribe button, hit that like, and leave a comment below. Let us know how much you're loving the channel, and we promise we will hit you back up. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time with another episode of Yup, Whatever We Make. Peace!